now that dream had been fulfilled. I was like, wow, I did it. I was very pleased with myself. They understand that I am what I say I am. It was a lunch pad, really.
On his way to becoming a destination fighter.
Among this crowd, it's clear Jones is still the bigger star.
I hate to lose. I don't think anybody likes to lose. I hate to lose. Losing to me is failing to do what you know you can do. That fight took me mentally and physically and spiritually to a whole new different level, as history and my record shows after the loss to Roy Jones Jr.
It's a Bernard Hopkins knockout of Oscar De La Hoya. Antonio Tarver was knocked down by Bernard Hopkins.
Ran off 20 consecutive middleweight title defenses.
But right now, Roy Jones has one up on Bernard Hopkins, and I accept that. And so here we are at this chapter that's going to be the final on either side, where we go or what happens now.
Well, Roy Jones is a gifted fighter.
The undisputed.
Big right hand by Jones.
60-40.
Left hook lands to
Pound for pound.
The most gifted fighter of his generation.
Going down.
he's letting it all out now.
How about your boy?
The fulfillment of becoming recognized as pound for pound the best fighter in the world after that, it was a wonderful fulfillment. However, it was very pressurous too, because everybody started looking at you and making you their mark. So people study you day and night. They eat, sleep, and drink you. They go to sleep watching you. They wake up watching you, because you are what they want to be. And Bernard Hopkins was one of those people, because I did go to the top, and I stayed there for a long time. And he could get no publicity. Nobody wanted to really watch him fight. Nobody cared who he was, because it was all about Roy. You understand me?
Fine. You go on, I go on. I fight who I fight, he fight who he fights. He make history, I made history. But we always had pockets where somewhere, some venue, somehow, our names always kept coming up to fight each other, because either I was saying something on one end, Roy Jones was saying something on the other end.
Talk is cheap. Hey, I'm the champ. I'm the champ. I'm right here with champ of the world. You want to try me for my title?
Who I am?
You want to try me for my title?
If you're the champ, who I am? But Roy Jones Jr. always wanted to show that because he has the one win, that I should bow down to any of his demands based on Roy being Roy Jones Jr.
60-40, I'll tear your ass up. Negotiate any further here.
He don't want to fight.
Still holding a grudge like it's me that wouldn't fight him. I didn't want to fight him until he got to be equivalent so that we make it a big fight. People want to see Pacquiao and Mayweather now. Why? Because both of them are huge. Well, when you beat De La Hoya and Tito, you became huge like I was. That's the time to fight.
This fight here will be the one that show people Bernard Hopkins' greatness. I will get Roy Jones back.
Nobody else. You must get up for your rival.
It's personal.
Get your hand up and let's go.
I've seen the likes of the skills of Will Clark, Serena Williams, Ozzie Smith, Hall of Fame. I've worked with them all.
He did it with Michael Spinks. Went from light heavyweight, put on that muscle, went up to heavyweight, became the heavyweight champion of the world. Then he did it with Roy Jones Jr., which was a remarkable feat, the way he transformed Roy's body into a very imposing, powerful heavyweight.
Remember, I've worked with the best. I've worked with 3,000 pro athletes in every sport, including members of armed forces. Roy just showed up every day on time, did everything I asked. Bernard Hopkins, I'd never had to worry about showing up, never had to worry about being on time. I actually know them better than they do. I know what's inside them, because you see, when the entourages go, I'm left with the human strengths, the human frailties. I know what their psyche is. One time around, follow me, under 152 heart rate, and understand how to work under fatigue situations. You ready? I have never met anybody that has the discipline that I have. Don't waste the energy. Push him away, push him away, push him away. Until I met Bernard Hopkins.
Bernard Hopkins did working with Mackie Shilstone for this fight. You feel now that you're more able to look for a knockout in this fight as a result of the kind of training you've done?
Absolutely. I think it gives me more of a self-insurance that I can hang in there with the armor. I'm talking about the armor of conditioning and the armor to be able to compete at the light heavyweight level. And I think that's what's going to shock a lot of people tonight.
This is the tempo at Bernard Hopkins. Loves to fight. Antonio Tarver was knocked down by Bernard Hopkins.
What's amazing about Bernard has a lot to do with Nazim Richardson, his trainer.
When he overcommit like that, give me a combination. Let's pay for that.
Bernard understands the game on all levels. And the fact that Bernard is going to recognize the history of Roy Jones. And that's what I'm preparing for.
That's the combination.
So it's Bernard Hopkins' discipline, the discipline of a Spartan king.
The story of his life, when he writes the book, he says the title will be Discipline.
And it is his knowledge of this game.
His vast storehouse of ring knowledge. This is the mentality of the pure knockout puncher.
Those are the two gifts that will allow him to be able to be victorious.
Big left hook by Hopkins. Headline for this fight should be Legend Kills. And now Mackie Shilstone goes 3 for 3.
Yep.
Spinks, Jones, Hopkins.
What an honor for me to be able to work with a man like Bernard Hopkins. Roy Jones is an incredible human being. There is no athlete I've ever encountered who has the athletic skill of Roy Jones Jr.
What Roy does now and what he has to do and what I instill is him, every minute detail is very important. We have to stay focused. We have to look down the barrel and know when the guy's going to pull the trigger. And to do that, you have to constantly put him under the gun, under the pressure, and let him see it coming.
Richardson should not be taking these shots.
I marvel at my physiology tests and what I see this man can do. He's firing out under resistance cords, 200 and 300 punches like it's nothing. The bouncing ball, the speed ball that the fighters hit, he makes the thing talk. I think his ability is unparalleled.
And the crowd stands and cheers Roy Jones.
Mackie Shilstone, the man who helped work with Roy Jones for this fight, once again in victory.
They came here and they sat in the F-15 and it had a profound effect on both of them. In fact, Bernard was at the end of the runway and Roy sat in the cockpit. I'm a student of great war history.